Here we are, day 13. We're halfway through on the second half. Let's see. 13 is over here. Oh, I see words. We have 4 words: spring, summer, winter, and fall. We'll see what we can do with this one. So I will admit, this one had me a little stumped. So I wasn't quite sure what to do. So I did a couple things, decided on a couple things I didn't want to do, and then went to this black and white card. Now we are going to make 4 squares. I'd made one because I wanted to make sure it was going to look the way I was envisioning in my head. So I think this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to color anything, and it's going to be strictly a black and white card. So we're going to end up with an easel card, a 6x6 easel, that's going to have the 4 panels with the 4 seasons on them, and I have a stamp for each season. I have a tulip for spring, I have a snowflake for winter, and I have a sun for summer. The sun came out of the slider collection. The snowflake was from, I think, the Christmas compendium last year. This was from the advent calendar this year. And the tulip, I am not sure where it came from, but I know it's a crafter's companion, but I'm not sure where it came from. So let's get started. Let me put this over here for a moment. So we have our 6x6 card, and I am going to fold this down here so I can make it an easel card. Take my bone folder to it. All right, so now we have our easel. So I will put this to the side. So now we're going to work on our front. Now I will say this paper is from Pink and Maine. It was a pack of black and white paper that I got in a kit. I get their monthly kits. And this was the paper in one of them. They're really fabulous papers. They're very heavy. And yeah, so I think this will stand up all by itself. They're one-sided. Yeah, so what we're going to do, put this to the side for a moment. And let's see. We're going to take our squares and we're going to stamp them. So we already have fall. So I have put fall to the side so I don't do that one twice. Let me move this over here. Our seasons. And I have black, this is Crafter's Companion glitter paper. All right, so let's take a square. I'll take summer. So I will take my sun. I will put it in the middle. Pick this up. Now, I wanted something that wasn't black for the stamp. So I'm going to use this quick dry anthracite. Okay, there's our sun. Put that to the side. Get the next paper. Do the snowflake. The snowflake I'm going to kind of sit off center a little bit. I didn't want it pointing straight up in the air. Because when I thought about coloring these, I thought that was going to be way too much color and too many colors. And they wouldn't really go together. So I decided I was just going to keep this black and white. So this I'm going to hang off. I think I'm going to put it, do I want it? No, because it may not be up far enough that you could tell those are the tops of the leaves. Okay, now we'll stamp the top of this flower. All right. Take these, put them to the side. Now it's time to do our seasons. Now I thought it looked plain. Let's look at the one I did ahead of time. So I thought it looked plain without any black around the season, and it also kind of didn't help it to stand out. So what I did, and I did a couple others because I wanted to see if I wanted them neat or if I wanted them to look like they were a little smeared. And I decided I did like the look of them being a little smeared. So all I did was take the black Obsidian ink, and I scraped it across until it got as dark as I wanted it to be. There we go. So I just did that with all 4 pieces. Now I'm going to lay this here. All right, so we have autumn. So now I will do spring. And spring was the tough one because the letters hang down so far. It is barely gonna fit on here. But I wanted them all to be the same size. So the spring one is definitely bigger. It's wider, I should say. And I am going to use the black Obsidian ink on the season. Hopefully this fits. Everybody cross your fingers, hold your breath. May have to redo spring. Let's see. Yeah, that does not look good at all. All right, we will have to, let's see if I can get away with stamping it on the other side. All right, this one's going to be a challenge. All right, I'm going to have to stick my head in here. Y'all can see my gray hair. All right, I'm going to try that. Yeah, none of the other seasons have letters that drop down so far, but even autumn had the tall T, but it didn't drop down as far as, because look at the T. The T is fine, but the P and the G hang down really far. So it's not sized the same as the other stamps. So just be aware of that when you go to use it. I think that's as good as that's going to get. All right, so we have spring. Now we need summer. Because if you made your little tags here wider, then the other stamps would get, the other seasons would get a little lost. So so now we have summer, spring, summer, winter. Let's put summer back. And winter. All right, we'll center winter. Yeah, see, that T fits on there just fine. I don't know why. Oops, did I knock that? No. I don't know why they made the P and the G so long. They're not proportionate to the other stamps. I guess they want to keep us on our toes. Yeah, see, there's plenty of room for the T's. All right, so we have our 4 seasons. So now let's glue. First, let me wipe the ink off my hands. All right, so now we bring in our 3 panels, our 3 seasons, spring, summer, and winter. Get my glue. So these squares are 2 inches by 2 inches. The black are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Don't think I said that before. Now we'll glue down summer. Oop, I got a little carried away with that glue. All right, now on this one, I used a thinner foam. I used foam that is it's 1/16 high. So this is thinner than what I normally use for shaker cards. As you can see, it's much thinner. All right, so let's make sure we glue everybody correctly here. Summer, spring, winter. And that is my last piece of the mounting tape. See if I can line this up. And I cut these strips. They were, how did I cut these? I believe 1/2 inch. Yeah, I cut these 1/2 inch, but then I did cut them 2 1/4 to go side to side on the panels. Let's line this up. It's off a little bit. There you go. That's better. There's 2 done. Now summer. Well, that just ripped. Okay, for the other 2 panels, I'm going to be using my new foam. And it's pretty wide, so I'm going to cut it in half also. It is very sticky. All right, so summer. And now for spring. Oh, you know what? I didn't edge this again when I flipped it over. So I'm just going to edge this real quick. Okay, so now we have our 4 panels. Let me bring in our 6x6. And I'm going to go side to side on this. I'm going to glue this on here. And I am going to go side to side. So that's going to be the whole front of the card. So we want to go spring, summer, autumn, and fall, and winter. See how many times I say fall. All right, so I believe when I looked at this before, if I went in 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, that looked pretty good. You go 1/2 inch from the bottom. So it will be like that. Yeah, 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch in on each side. I'm going to put some glue on here and then use my ruler to nudge it into place. Let's see, 1/2 inch. So we know it there. And 1/2 inch there. Make sure I'm still 1/2 inch. There we go. Okay, next one. And I'm going to turn this sideways. So we're going to go up 1/2 inch. And here 1/2 inch. And down. All right, now for the other 2. able to. I can see black on black here. Double check. There we go. Now the fourth one. Half an inch. Half an inch. There we go. There's our front panel. Let that dry for a moment. So for our stopper, I thought the greeting or sentiment, you are a friend for all seasons, would be good. This is not a stamp. I printed this out on my computer. So if you can just type this out on your computer in whatever font you like, and then just use whatever nesting dies you have to cut it out. You know, that's always an option if you don't have what you're looking for. All right, we'll give that a moment, and let me grab some thicker foam to put the stopper on. All right, so this one, how big is this foam? It's an 1/8. Yeah, so it's twice as thick as the other foam. The other foam was a 1/16. This is an 1/8 wide. I mean, not wide, thick. So we'll put some on here. I'm going to put 2 rows. Okay, now that's ready to go. So let's bring in our card base. Let's see, are we good? I think we're good. All right, so let's put some glue on the bottom here. Line it up on the top. Push down on the bottom. And when you go side to side without a border, it makes it kind of easy to line it up. All right, so now, question is that good? Or do we want something on the bottom here? That looks a little plain. Let me think. All right, so I think I'm going to put a 2-inch black panel on the bottom here. Maybe even a little bit wider. And this can sit like this. I think I'll go 2 1/4 inches. All right. And this paper was out of the same pad as this paper. It did have some sheets of solid. Because I thought about maybe this one But I think that's still too busy. I think it needs to be solid. All right, so let's take this and glue it down. We'll just line this up at the bottom. This is squeaky paper. Now we just peel this off. Ugh. Hate when the stuff rips. Okay. We'll put this in the center. And there we go. You are a friend for all seasons. I think that's a nice little card to send to a friend. You know, a just because kind of card. Let me check my corners here. But yeah, just it's a little bit different. I wasn't quite sure what to do where the contents of the door were still front and center. I had to think about it a little bit with the seasons. But this is what I came up with. Maybe you'll come up with something else. But I hope you like this. And we'll see you again tomorrow to see what the next challenge of the next door will be. Till then, stay crafty.